Nobody writes recipes for the person standing at the stove at 6 p.m. alone, with 10 minutes of energy left and no appetite for a pot that makes 8 servings. They write for families, for meal prep, for guests. The actual situation: one person, one burner. Doing this again tonight by yourself gets pointed toward Lean Cuisines and Ensure and whatever meal kit advertises during daytime television. Number 7 on this list takes 6 minutes and has been the comfort meal in Chinese coastal communities for 300 years, and researchers now understand exactly why it works. Number 4, 5 ingredients, 8 minutes, and the data is in every significant longevity study on how the longest-lived people on Earth actually eat. And number 1 is not just a recipe, it's a decision. And once you make it once, you'll understand why it's the one people come back to. The adult nutrition supplement industry, Ensure, Boost, the entire category, generates billions every year on the idea that cooking for one isn't worth the effort. It is. 11 meals, 10 minutes each. Subscribe before we start. Number 11. Slow-scrambled eggs on buttered toast. The version that actually works: butter in a pan, medium-low heat, just until it foams. 2 eggs beaten with a fork and a splash of water. Into the pan, then off the heat. Let the residual warmth begin the cooking. Back on low for 30 seconds. Off again. Slide onto toast that's already buttered and warm. 6 minutes. Under $1. The result is soft, slightly wet, almost custardy, the kind of scrambled egg that explains why this was a specific skill worth passing on. What you've been making may not be what scrambled eggs can actually be. Number 10. Grilled cheese for 1. 2 slices of bread, 1 slice of American cheese, or cheddar, or whatever is already in the refrigerator. Butter on the outside of both slices. Into a skillet on medium heat. Lid on. The lid traps steam that melts the cheese from above before the bread can burn from below. 2.5 minutes per side. Deep gold on the outside. Completely melted on the inside. 8 minutes. About 35 cents. Every person who grew up in a working American home between 1940 and 1990 has a version of this meal attached to a specific memory. Being home, being taken care of, someone in the kitchen that day just for them. When you make this for yourself now, you are not a lesser version of that memory. You are its continuation. Number 9. Buttered grits with sharp cheese. Instant grits into a small pot with salted water or chicken broth. 4-to-1 ratio. 5 minutes on medium heat, stirring occasionally. Off the heat. A tablespoon of butter and a handful of shredded sharp cheddar stirred in while still hot. Salt, black pepper. Under $1 for a full bowl. 6 minutes. Grits have fed the American South for 400 years. One of the oldest continuously cooked foods in the American home kitchen. The only thing that's changed is the pan. Number 8. 1 pan potato with caramelized onion. 1 medium potato, leftover is best, or microwave a raw one for 4 minutes. Dice it. Half an onion, sliced thin, both into a skillet with olive oil on medium heat. Salt. Leave it alone for 4 minutes. Stir. 4 more minutes. The potato edges go brown and slightly crispy. The onion collapses into something sweet and barely there. Under 40 cents. 1 pan, 1 burner. Put things in the pan. Set the timer. Sit down. The sizzle tells you when it's done. Number 7. Egg drop soup. 1 small can of chicken broth, 14 ounces. Enough for 1. Brought to a gentle simmer in a small pot. 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. 1 egg, beaten with a fork. Poured in a slow, thin stream while stirring in circles. The egg ribbons appear immediately, pale threads through amber broth. Add a sliced green onion if you have one in the drawer. Salt. 6 minutes. Under 70 cents. Chinese home cooks have called this egg flour soup for centuries. It is what gets made when someone is unwell, when the weather has turned, when nothing else feels right. You do not need a full appetite for it. You do not need to be hungry in the way a plate of food requires. It is warm. It is enough. Stay for number 4. The data on it has appeared in every major study on how people live past 90. And what researchers found is something your mother already understood. And stay for number 1. It is the meal most likely to change what you do on the hardest evenings. Number 6. White beans on toast with olive oil. A can of cannellini beans, drained and rinsed. Into a small pan with a tablespoon of olive oil and 1 clove of garlic, pressed or sliced. Medium heat, 3 minutes. Mash some of the beans lightly against the side of the pan as they warm. They go slightly creamy from their own starch without adding anything. 2 slices of toast, beans on top, red pepper flakes, a drizzle of olive oil, under 90 cents. In rural Italy, this combination, white beans, olive oil, bread, predates any recipe card. It was the weeknight meal for generations who needed nothing elaborate. Legumes are the single most consistent food across every long-lived population researchers have tracked. The 89-cent can is the longevity diet. It always was. I want to say something directly. Cooking for one gets framed as a practical challenge. Smaller portions, fewer dishes. Those things matter. But the thing nobody says plainly, sitting down with a plate of warm food you made yourself, is not a small act. On the evenings when crackers over the sink feel like enough, making something real is a form of self-respect. Quiet, not dramatic. But there. The companies selling supplement shakes count on you deciding the 10 minutes isn't worth it. You are worth the 10 minutes. That's what this list is for. Number 5. Miso soup with tofu. 1 tablespoon of miso paste dissolved into a mug of near-boiling water, not a full boil, which destroys the live cultures in the paste. Stir until completely dissolved. A few cubes of silken tofu, a sliced green onion. 3 minutes, under 60 cents. Miso soup appears throughout Japanese longevity research because it appears throughout Japanese longevity communities, consumed daily in Okinawa, in the fishing villages of rural Japan, by populations that regularly live past 90. The people drinking it don't know the science. They know it's warm, and it tastes like home. That is the whole reason it works. Number 4. Sardines on toast with mustard and lemon. Open the tin, drain, and place the sardines on 2 slices of toast with a spread of Dijon mustard, a squeeze of lemon, and a pinch of black pepper. Ready in 5 minutes for about $1.50. A 2022 analysis in the journal Nutrients found that adults over 65 who ate small, oily fish twice weekly showed measurably better cardiovascular markers than matched groups who didn't. Sardines are among the highest natural sources of omega-3 fatty acids at grocery store prices, and they sit low on the food chain, so mercury accumulation is not a concern. Fishermen along the Portuguese coast ate this for lunch every day for 300 years. They didn't call it a longevity food, they called it lunch. Number 3. Fried rice from last night. Cold rice straight from the refrigerator. Day-old works better than fresh because the grains separate cleanly in the pan. Into a skillet with a tablespoon of oil over high heat, spread flat. Leave it alone for 90 seconds until the bottom crisps. Stir. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, a few drops of sesame oil, whatever vegetable was turning in the crisper, diced small, stirred through at the end. 8 minutes. Under $1, made almost entirely from what was already there. In Chinese and Japanese home kitchens, this is the defining second meal, made from yesterday's rice and whatever remained. It requires leftovers, rather than planning. Number 2. Quick French onion soup. 1 large onion, sliced thin. Add it to a small pot with a tablespoon of butter on medium heat. Cook for 8 minutes, stirring occasionally until soft and pale gold. Don't rush this part. The onion is the meal. Add 1 small can of beef broth. Add a splash of Worcestershire sauce. Simmer. Season with salt and pepper. Pour into a bowl with a slice of toast laid over the top. $1.20. 10 minutes. The original ingredients are 1 onion, butter, broth, and bread. French soup has been enjoyed for 300 years. The toast soaks up the broth from underneath in 2 minutes. It becomes genuinely good if you don't hurry the onion. Number 1. 1 egg in tomato sauce. Half a can of diced tomatoes crushed by hand, a tablespoon of olive oil, 1 clove of garlic, a pinch of cumin, salt. Into a small pan, simmer for 2 minutes until slightly thickened. 1 egg cracked directly into the center of the simmering tomato. Lid on. Simmer for 3 minutes until the white sets and the yolk stays soft. Eaten directly from the pan with bread. Under 90 cents. 10 minutes. This dish appears independently in Tunisian, Israeli, Italian, and Turkish cooking under different names. The same understanding in every tradition. 1 egg simmered in something acidic and warm produces a meal that is filling, complete, and genuinely satisfying in a way that crackers over the sink is not. On the evenings when the energy is low and the house is quiet, and the question of what to eat feels heavier than it should, this is the meal. Not because it's fast, though it is, because it's warm, because you made it, because 10 minutes and 90 cents produced something you sat down and ate at a table. That decision to sit down to eat something real is worth making, every time. Tell me in the comments which of these is already in your weekly rotation, and what's the meal you make when nobody's watching, the quick, private thing you've been making alone for 30 years without telling anyone. I want to know what it is. And if someone you know is eating crackers over the sink because they think cooking for one isn't worth the bother, send them this. I'd like them to see it.